We're here today at the fourth steering committee of the MedGem network in the Ramada Hotel in Istanbul. And we had a great meeting this morning with the national focal points of the network that provided us with input for, let's say, the coming period in the network. And I'm here today with Giulio Gentile and Milou Beerepoot from DG NEAR. And I have a few follow-on questions following the discussion that we had this morning, because Giulio, over to you. We have a brand new European Commission, and the European Commission also has, it seems, a lot more focus on the Mediterranean area, basically the countries that we work with. Can you shed a bit more light on that?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Frank, and thanks for hosting us. Indeed, as you mentioned, as from the 1st of December, we have a new commission in the European Union. And in fact, one of the novelties of this commission that we'll have for the first time a commissioner that is dedicated on the MENA region. So renewed focus on our partners in the southern Mediterranean to try to identify issues where we can work together between the northern and the southern shore of our common sea. And in fact, one of the main deliverable for our new commissioner in the weeks and months to come will be to try to work on a new pact for the Mediterranean, which should testify this renewed engagement with our partners in the region. It will build on country-specific comprehensive partnership. It will also look at some regional initiative where we can have a common interest in working on.
Is for example, I mean, the network looks at green electricity and molecules. Can you shed a little bit more light? I mean, maybe it's too early, but what is happening in the field of green molecules and green hydrogen in that new pact for the Mediterranean?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. No, indeed, as you rightly say, I mean, reinforced cooperation of energy will be something that will be looked at in the context of the new pact. In fact, one of the initiatives our commissioner will work on is the Trans-Mediterranean Energy and Clean Tech Cooperation Initiative. We look at how to increase renewable energy trading and boost the clean tech manufacturing in the region, notably to the global gateways. She will work together with the peer commissioner on energy and housing. And as the name says, renewable energy will be a big part of it. And within that, of course, renewable hydrogen will be one of the areas we will continue to work on. And in fact, I mean, I would like to thank you for your question, because it's quite topical that we discuss about it today when we participated at the steering committee of MedGen project. We see MedGen having a role also going ahead.
Yeah, of course, we're ready and happy to contribute in whatever way we can. And tomorrow we have our industry advisory board, so also the private sector is part of this whole discussion, and I'm sure they're really looking forward to hearing more about what this industrial partnership then could mean for them. Milou, there was somebody that mentioned that some of the activities that we've been able to develop in the last couple of years, had a sort of a pioneer character, and I think it was in the framework of the certification pilot, because we've done one now. We hear there is interest from other countries, but how do you see that from your perspective?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Indeed, the European Union has expressed an interest in importing renewable hydrogen over time. But in order to be able to be considered renewable hydrogen in the EU, it is necessary to comply with certain standards. That means that you would need to have your renewable hydrogen certified if you want to export it to the EU as renewable hydrogen.
And those are actually the same rules that apply to European projects, right? It's not a trade barrier. It's really just the same that applies to European projects.
You're right, okay. Exactly. Good to mention that as well, that these are just general rules that count to everybody in the same way. So within Europe, there are voluntary schemes that have been recognized by the EU in order to get your renewable hydrogen certified. And what the MedGem project now has been doing is to test these voluntary schemes, more specifically one of them, in a pilot project in Morocco. And this is, in fact, the first time that we have done such pilot outside of Europe. So in that sense, it is really good to see what lessons can be learned from this pilot in Morocco. In order for not only the Mediterranean region to learn from, but also other parts of the world. I have already heard that there is interest in Latin America and in Asia to also learn from this particular pilot and see how these lessons can also be used in other regions.
Very interesting, and yeah, even within the network, I mean, we ran an open, let's say, auction for the project as well as the certifying body, and basically the best project won in that sense. And we've heard today there is quite a lot of interest in expanding that, because every project is different in a way, and part of why we're doing this is so that everybody learns the intricacies of certification and the rules around it, etc. With that, I would really like to thank you for your contribution, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a fruitful day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.